When we go about this world, whether we're working, taking care of ourselves or our families, our mind gets into situations where it is bogged down by its own thoughts, goes into anxiety, sometimes it goes into depression. And we need a method by which we can bring our mind into a blissful state, into a peaceful state, into a state where we are able to refocus it on the task at hand. Now, when we meditate, we can bring our mind into that state as well, but sometimes we need something that helps us right away, that with just a little bit of practice brings our mind to that same refocusing point, that point where we can center our mind inside this physical body. So our spiritual masters, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, taught us a technique by which we can focus our mind into that peaceful state using the air that we breathe. As mentioned before on this channel, air has a connection with our mind, which is quite unique. If we can control the air that we breathe in a certain manner, then we can actually bring our mind into control, which is one of the hardest things to do. In the spiritual knowledge that our spiritual masters have blessed us with, the right side of our eye and the right air passage is known as the sun. The left eye and the left breathing passage at the left nostril through which we breathe is known as the moon. When our mind is shifted towards the right, it becomes irritable, easily angered, and comes into thoughts that are quite negative. If we can shift the position of our mind to the left, it helps our mind become calm, our mind cools down. Our way of breathing can be used to cool the mind down. And this mind, when it's on the right side, it's in anger or it's irritable or it's in negative thoughts, we can quickly shift it to the left. The technique that we use to do this is to dry up the right passage of air and use the left to breathe out. What we do is we basically breathe in a way where we're breathing through the right nostril, taking the air in, and exhaling through the left. You can use your hand to block off the air passages as such, but between each point where you've breathed in and then exhaled, you want to hold your breath for just a moment. So let's try this. Breathe in from the right, hold, breathe out the left, hold, repeating, this makes it easier to calm your mind down. When your mind is calm, you have less thoughts. You're able to focus on the task at hand. You can use this technique to calm your mind down, this technique of meditation, which will bring your mind peace. If you practice this technique 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, you can work it up to an hour. But it will bring your mind to that blissful state whenever you have that need to escape your thoughts, to escape your worries and anxieties. Now, as a precaution, when your mind shifts to the left, it becomes cool, calm. If you accidentally use this or purposely use this in the opposite direction by breathing in from the left and then breathing out the right, your mind will go back to the right and it'll become restless again. And that is why it's best to always ask as to how meditation is to be done, because you don't want to go in the opposite direction. So don't use this in the opposite way. Some people use this method of breathing and alternate, and their mind just keeps shifting back and forth. The way it's meant to be is to dry up the channel of the sun and use the channel of the moon. Let the moon channel flow with air. And that heat from the sun will allow our mind to get that ras, that nectar inside from the moon, which calms our mind down and allows our mind to have its true sustenance. Now, that nectar is called Amrit in Gurmat, in the spiritual knowledge that our spiritual masters have blessed us with. Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji calls this the breathing by the sun and the moon, and tells us in Gurbani, in the hymns of our Guru, Sur Sar Sosle Som Sar Pokhle, that you're drying up the passage of the sun and you're letting the moon passage flow. That brings our mind to stillness. With enough practice of this technique, you can actually just use your mind to focus in, to breathe in through the right channel and out the left channel, and not have to use your hands to block either of the channels to help you breathe this way. Many people are afraid to try techniques of meditation because they think they'll offend someone, or they think that they weren't taught these and this is out of their scope of knowledge. Keeping yourself bottled up in your scope of knowledge is your own choice. If you try this, you will reap the benefits. You'll actually find how peaceful it is. You can try this at any time. And those that think that this is just some yogic exercise, they usually don't know what yoga actually means. Yoga means to connect with the divine. Yoga means to connect with the divine. And this is one method by which you can bring your mind to stillness so that the mind can get to different levels of consciousness through different techniques of meditation. This will help you calm your mind and help you on that journey. Thank you.